be seeing you in every lovely summer day, in everything that's light and gay. I'll always think of you that way. I'll find you in the morning sun, and when the night is new, I'll be looking at the moon, but I'll be seeing you.
Irene!
No, Bob, it's me, Lou. Hi, how are you?
What are you doing here?
Is everything okay, Pop?
I got a stomachache again.
Well, have you gone to the bathroom lately? Number 2?
I know the difference. That's not it. What time is it? Is it raining?
It's afternoon, Pop. Why are you sitting in the dark? Why don't you open the curtains?
Did I call you?
Oh, but you should have. What's this? Pop, it's a good thing I stopped by. These are all bills. I need gas, electric, water.
I must have called you.
No, I stopped by. I came to see you, Pop. Frankly, it's a good thing I did, because this is exactly what I wanted to talk to you about. I went to pick up Grace today, and this was just sitting outside your door.
Was it? What is it?
A can of evaporated milk and saltines and animal critters, and raisins, and 3 brown bananas.
Well, they were green, but they ripen fast.
Ripen fast, huh? Pop, this is from 3 days ago. You've been sitting here playing cards this whole time?
Well, I wasn't telling fortunes. Where else would I go? Where did you say Gracie was? Girl Scouts? That's a pretty good outfit.
Yeah, they are pretty good, but she's a driver's ed.
Gracie. Driving. Isn't she a little young?
She turned 16 this month, Pop. Hey, is everything okay? How long has the stomach thing been going on?
On and off about a year or 2.
Well, have you eaten anything? Here, try some of the soup I brought.
I can't find the olive oil.
Well, you can eat without this once.
I'll just have some eggs.
Eggs. Ah, your sink, it's full of shells. You can't live on eggs.
I've been eating soft-boiled eggs every day for breakfast since 1944.
Well, have you eaten anything else?
Just the usual.
Usual, huh? 2 soft-boiled eggs, oatmeal, coffee, juice.
My pop said to work like a horse, you have to eat like a horse. Carrots, apples, and oats.
Well, he sounds like a pretty smart guy.
Well, he thought so.
I just meant ahead of his time with the Mediterranean diet and all.
Nah, he was just a cheapskate. He used to take us kids out to pick dandelion greens because they were free out near Nathan Hale High. We used to smoke these crooked little Italian cigars. You're named after him, you know. Did I ever tell you that he had one of the first dump trucks in town?
Yeah, Pop, I think you did. If you're not going to eat this soup...
Help yourself. It's all broth, no noodles.
You don't even know what kind it is. It's lentil soup. One of your favorites, just like your mother used to make with cod. So down. Yeah, there you go. There's nothing in your refrigerator but eggs, Pop. And pickles and mustard. You can't even make a sandwich out of this.
I forgot to buy the Roman meal. Besides, I haven't had much of an appetite. Eating alone, why bother?
Well, you have to eat here. Try this.
What's this?
It's a BLT, fold the lettuce.
What kind of bread is it on? Not rye, I hope.
It's on a French roll, Pop.
And the mayonnaise,
It's spread thin.
And it
It's
is...
right to the edge.
You know I can't eat tomatoes without mayonnaise. Ah!
Pop. Really?
Mm.
Pop, what is this shoebox that I found in the freezer? Old letters?
You be careful with that. Those are some letters.
Rosary and sunglasses and a lighter, Pop. You don't even smoke. Look at this. Old Christmas cards. And Mom's wallet.
You stay out of your mom's pocketbook.
Why? Why do we even hold on to this?
Because when Aggie's kids and Connie's kids have a birthday, I still send them some cash in a card on their birthday from Granny Irene.
You know, Pop, those kids, they're all grown now. Kids of their own. Did you even know that Connie's retired from the phone company? She bought a condo in Chattanooga. Aggie, she's lived in San Diego for years. And Pop, guess what? Grace, she's learning to drive.
Do you remember my friend Gib?
Pop, his name was Benjamin Siegel.
That's right. Remember what he used to say?
The Dago could probably put olive oil on chocolate cake.
Ah, wrong. That what probably puts olive oil on chocolate cake.
Nice.
I got a letter from him. He must be 50 years old now.
50. Pop, he was your age.
He lives in Los Angeles. He got married right after the war. He moved to California, opened a Benjamin's kosher burrito stand on Temple Street.
Pop, that war was a long, long time ago. How long does it look like this in here, Pop? Do you even remember what I told you about today? Do you? Alright, well, I guess that explains why nothing's ready.
Well, I wasn't expecting
We
company.
can't let it get like this in here, Pop. Pretty soon we're going to be cleaning instead of packing.
Are we going on a trip somewhere? Your mom and I took a train to the coast once on our honeymoon. We stopped in Vegas. Wasn't much then before Sinatra.
Do you really not remember what I told you
I
about?
spent a lot more money than I
Today was
thought.
St. Vincent de Paul Day, Pop.
Cars with the guys. The Mick.
Aiden Riley.
He does it with more grace, but I do it more natural. And the kid.
Ben Siegel.
Shut up! In the Rialto, you have rated me for my monies and my uses, but still have I bored it with a patient.
Pop, you're not playing cards today. You don't play cards with those guys any longer. That was the army. Don't you remember that?
We never would have been friends if it hadn't been for the army. I taught them how to play sheep's head once. They thought I was making it up, just going along.
Nothing different. That's Shakespeare. They threw everyone together. Hicks, pigs, kites, wops. It didn't matter. We looked out for each other. We were in the same outfit. It was a pretty good outfit, Patton's army. Gib had never seen a cow before. The Mick had never seen snow. He was from Louisiana, New Orleans. One time he asked me, "Y'all got any good fishing in Wisconsin?" I told him, "Yeah. If we go up north, it's even better." He looked at me. "Up north? How much further can you go?" We went over the top on the 20th of July. We got off the beach, and at the top of the bluff, there was a human head. I don't know if it was one of ours or one of theirs, but somebody made sure we all saw it. I was a clerk. Yip was a cook. Mick played the trombone. We were all green, but we ripened fast. The sergeant looked Christmas and he said to Mick, well, I guess you ought to take the bazooka.
Pop, those guys have been dead for over 20 years. That was a whole lifetime ago.
To you, a lifetime. To me, just a life. How much of your life could you fit into a shoebox?
You don't remember about today. All right, well, then why didn't you write it down on the calendar?
I did. Thursday, December 23rd, guys from St. Vincent de Paul.
Oh, Pop, Tuesday, December 23rd, today. Who wrote this now? Grace's 14th birthday send card? Pop, this calendar is 2 years old.
Is it? Well, I'll send you some cash with the card for your birthday.
Pop, they were supposed to come and get the rest of Mom's clothes. Didn't anybody come to the door?
There's some kind of racket. I didn't answer it.
Who are you even saving them for, Pop? You should just get rid of them.
Get rid of them. Get rid of them. That would be like getting rid of her. Have you been to a Salvation Army lately?
No.
It's junk. Just junk. Nothing on racks. Just thrown on the table. They used to be a pretty good outfit. I just didn't want to see all her stuff that she took care of thrown on the table like a lot of junk.
So, Luigi, he gets off of the boat, see? But he don't speak no good English, see? And he don't got no job, see? So, he's a paisano, Tito. He said to him, don't worry, you go, you get a banana to sell. And Luigi said, I don't speak no good English. And Tito said, don't worry, the first thing they're gonna say to you is how much. Huh? So, you say to them, 2 for a nickel. And then they're gonna say to you, well, some of them look green. And so, you say to them, some of them are, some of them aren't. Eh? And then they're gonna say to you, well, you've got one thumb. And so, you say to them, well, if you don't, then someone else will. Eh? So, Luigi, you go, he gets a banana, and a man come up to Luigi and he say, you got a match. So, Luigi said, 2 for a nickel. So the man, he says, you dago, you all the same, you all think you're a comedian. And so, Luigi says, some of them are, some of them aren't. And now the man, he's a little mad. See, he said, you want me to punch you in the nose? So Luigi said,
if you go, someone else will. You
Oh,
did that real good. That was his favorite joke.
He only told it every single time he came over.
Sunday for meatballs and spaghetti.
I remember that there was this one Sunday, it must have been Christmas. He came over, he told the joke, and he laughed so hard that he fell out of his chair and slid right under the table. And I still remember looking at him under the table and thinking to myself, why is he even laughing about this still?
We named you after him. Did you know that he had one of the first trucks in town? When he started, he had a shovel, a horse, and a wagon. And when he got home from work, he had a glass of olive oil, something like 4,000 calories.
Yes.
He was digging this basement on Brennan. near the greenhouse. He was digging it for this fella. He was bringing over his mother-in-law from Chesterchowa, Poland. And he was going out of town on his way to the dump.
The dump? You mean where Nathan Hale High is now?
Maybe. Might have been. Anyhow, this same truck goes past him 3 times. He saved every nickel to get one. He missed his horse, Pepina. Stepped on his toe once. It was never the same afterwards. It was crooked, like one of those little cigars. I felt bad for that horse. He socked it right in the jaw. He wanted me to go to Boys Tech. Be a carpenter or a plumber, but a worker inside, he said. I said, no, sir. I love books. I wanted to go to college. He couldn't even read. I took the high school entrance exam at the Jesuit High. Had to pay for it myself by working in the dining room. What a cheapskate.
Yeah, with a fleet of dump trucks.
Yeah? Not too bad for a guy who didn't speak a good English.
Pop, there must be at least $600 or $700 in here. Where's your driver's license? And a picture of you in your army uniform with a redhead.
Well, after VE Day, they sent us home on leave. We took a bus trip up to Lake Geneva. That was the first day I saw her in person.
That's Mom. Holy smokes, Pop.
Watch it.
I'm just saying that with those sunglasses, she looks like a movie star.
Oh, you think you're telling me something I don't already know? She turned all the sailor boys' heads. It was like walking down the street with Noel Neal on your arm.
Noel Neal, huh? Oh, she played Lois Lane.
Finished number 2 behind Betty Grable. Great Lakes. Do you remember this CSV, the Catholic Sunday Visitor? Well, during the war, if you were overseas, you could give them your name and address, and they'd have people write you. I was a pretty good letter writer. I had 4 pen pals. And then, right before Thanksgiving, I got this letter from this 5th girl. She was right from my neighborhood. I felt bad. I wanted to write her and tell her I didn't have time for another pen pal. But I never got around to it. Then, in January, I got a letter from her cousin, your mother. She read me for filth. Who the hell do you think you are? Do you think you're too good to write my cousin? It went on like that for 3 pages. I wrote her back. That was some letter. I'm sorry I didn't write your cousin, but I'd be happy to write you. When she came home to visit the family for the first time, my father took the hose to her because she was wearing too much makeup. Because she wasn't Italian looking enough. But she could make pasta fazool.
Pasta fazool, not soupy. Baby lima beans or linguine. Yum. Pop, I really ought to get going. This time of day there's going to be an awful lot of traffic.
Where?
I got things to do, Pop, and an appointment to reschedule.
Oh, you better do that the day before, otherwise they charge you.
Yeah, thanks for the advice. Mwah.
That's about the extent of my business knowledge.
Hey, Pop, there is actually something that I wanted to talk to you about. About 2 years now, actually, since Mom. So listen, Alex and I have been talking, and we feel like we're finally at a place in our lives where we can do this, and so we really want you to consider that maybe you'd be better off in a different place.
Different place? I don't need a different place. Got all my stuff. All my books.
They're probably going to take those when they come back.
We were stationed just outside Bastogne, Belgium. The 106th was kind of a green outfit. But there wasn't much action in the Ardennes, so the guys sort of came and went as they pleased. I was the company clerk. Twice a month, I had to take the train to Paris to pick up documents and special mail. So one time, this French girl asked me for a cigarette. No, I don't smoke, but I did have my ration, so I offered her one. She sat down. She had bacon and tomato sandwiches on peasant bread. So for the next 2.5 hours, I talked. She smoked her cigarettes. My mother spoke a little French, and I'd taken school. So when we got to Paris, I thanked her. Her name was Agnes. It turns out she was Belgian. So I offered her my last 5 cigarettes. You need to come with me, she said. Well, our guys had liberated Paris a few weeks earlier. Cafes and bars were filled with GIs enjoying the city. Paris was open for business. So I figured, what the hell? After we picked up the documents, she took me to her Uncle Felix's bookstore. He only had one leg. He lost it in Spain, fighting the fascists. She said he knew Orwell. Now, his bookstore was like a clubhouse filled with fiction and literary criticism and radical politics. Erotica. And everyone was talking and arguing. And not only in French, in Hebrew, Welsh, Polish. And they were all smoking and drinking absinthe. In the 20s, Paris had filled up with a lot of expatriates, people from all over the world. Samuel Beckett, Henry Miller, Thiago Reinhardt. Awesome. And not just artists. The greatest modernist publishers in the world were there. Hours of press. black mannequin, obelisk. Those were some kind of outfits. Felix had come to Paris before the First War as a kid with his mom and dad. They knew everybody. Edward Titus, Helena Rubinstein, Sarah and Gerald Murphy. To someone who loved books like me, this was a center of the universe. Plus, there was Agnes. I missed my train.
You know you're always trying to change the subject, Pop.
Oh, so there I was, stranded in Paris, holding classified documents, drunk on absinthe, and practically a AWOL. Felix had a friend from the International Brigade, George Ensou, Nervous George.
Why was he nervous, Pop?
He was an abstract expressionist who survived the terror bombing in Guernica. He was an engineer on a train. They used to haul animals to the stockyards. Well, it went almost all the way to Bastogne. So I told him if he took me, next time I came to Paris, I'd give him a dozen eggs. Guys, I came and went as they pleased.
And?
Well, before the fall of Madrid, he had escaped to Algeria, then to Marseille, and then eventually made his way back to Paris. During the occupation, the Nazis used his train to take women and children out of Paris to the German border. He had fought them in Spain, but now they were making him do their dirty work for them. After the liberation, the Allies had him take troops, equipment, and ordnance as far as the front line for the final push to Berlin. So, we thought that on the way back, he could stop, blow his whistle twice, wait 10 minutes, and I'd have a dozen eggs for him, and a carton of cigarettes, and some coffee for Agnes. Pretty soon I just gave the eggs to Agnes. She'd make us soft-boiled eggs for breakfast.
Pop, wait, did you love her?
I loved Paris.
No, but I asked.
I loved books.
Nope.
I loved soft-boiled eggs.
Pop.
Yeah, I could.
Well, what happened?
The Germans counterattacked right before Christmas. First, right through the Ardennes. They mauled us pretty good. The 6th Panzers was a pretty tough group. They had a commander, Dietrich. He was an SS officer. He was a butcher and had been a thug for Hitler before the war. They killed or captured most of my division. We were ordered to fall back and hold Bastogne. Our guys poured out of the woods for hours. Tank troops without any tanks. Busted outfits, grounded paratroopers, raw recruits yelling, "Run! They'll murder you! The SS!" They started to call us Team Snafu. Our lieutenant told us to burn anything that the crowds would be interested in. So we doused gasoline on the unsorted Christmas cards. The Gip was the only Jew in the outfit. I saw him take his down tanks and throw them into the burning packages and bail. Bastogne was under siege. We were stubborn. When Patton sprung us, I had to move into the Third Army. He said when he got to Berlin, he was going to shoot that wallpaper hanging, postcard painting son of a bitch himself. And he would have. I just wish he would have shot Dietrich first. I went back to Paris to look for Agnes. No one had seen her. I bought her a Christmas present, a Zippo lighter. She'd gone to visit her parents and Sanon for the holidays. There was a fuel depot nearby that the Krauts really wanted. So, 93 Belgian civilians and 38 Negro POWs were machine gunned down in a field. I came home with a duffel bag full of first editions. The Tropic of Cancer was banned in the States.
Well, listen, Pop, you don't really take care of yourself, so Alex wants you to seriously...
I don't care what you and Alex want.
Pop, you forget things. You could easily wander off and get lost.
Lost?
Lost?
Lost? Ah. I walked from Omaha Beach halfway across Europe. France, Luxembourg, Belgium. I was part of Patton's army, for crying out loud. Sometimes we had to walk through the night. You put your hand on the shoulder of the fella in front of you. And that's how you slept. Walking. I was the only guy in my outfit to walk out of Bastogne without a scratch. It was a pretty good outfit. In December 1944, he gave every one of his men a Christmas card.
Each officer and soldier of the United States Army, I wish a Merry Christmas. I have full confidence in your courage, devotion to duty, and skill in battle. We march in our might to complete victory. And God's blessing rests upon each of you on this Christmas day. G.S. Patton, Jr., Lieutenant General, Commanding 3rd United
that sound like a fella who can't take care of himself?
Still in your pajamas, Pop. There's dirty dishes here. There's piles of dirty laundry over there. Alex and I only want what's best for you. You know that money from the house? It's gone. That's okay, Pop, because you can come live with us. Yeah, it's just Alex and Grace and I now. The other girls are out on their own. Hey, did you even know that Ida is graduating grad school this term and that Olivia's actually bought a house?
We bought our house in 1950. $10,000 all brick. There was only one other one on the block. Owned by two doctors. The husband and
Pop,
wife.
you are running out of money. Don't you understand that? You're on Medicare, you're on Social Security, and that little bit of money the mom saved simply wasn't going to last forever.
There isn't a day that I don't think about it. Oh, she came so close. So many times.
Close to what, Pop? What are you talking about?
Tuesdays and Thursdays. Our Lady of Pompeii, she wasn't downstairs saying the rosary with the altar ladies and the church
She went
ladies.
down there to socialize with the other women of
Maybe
the area.
at
Are
first.
you sure you're even remembering this correctly?
I remember one time that she won $2,000 at bingo.
Bingo?
Yes, I told her. She could do anything she wanted with it. She put half down on the house, all brick. And she gave the other half to the sisters, to the pagan babies.
Pagan babies? Pop, these letters are all addressed to Mom.
They're all the same. She always paid all the bills. Sometimes I never even saw them. Paid them as soon as they came in. We never had to pay interest, Shylock. In the Rialto, you have raped me for my...
Pop, these are all thank you letters for donations.
But still...
Thank you for your donation of $1,000 from the School Sisters of St. Francis, from Maryknoll Sisters of St. Dominic, the Jesuits, School Sisters of Notre Dame, Madonna Society, Holy Angels Academy. Pop, there must be at least hundreds, maybe thousands of donations here.
That's not all of them.
What?
She was always in such pain from the stomach cancer. She didn't take her medicine, and near the end she got a little confused. If it came in the mail, she thought it was a bill.
Oh my God, Pop.
And sent a check.
Okay. Pop, why didn't you say anything?
She's the only one that believed in me. She made me go back to school. I thought I could be a novelist. I couldn't. Still, she wouldn't let me quit. So for 35 years, I taught high school English and history. Love is not love that alters when an alteration happens. That's Shakespeare.
I know, Pop.
I wasn't going to let someone else take care of her. I owed her. I owe you.
You don't owe me, Pop. I owe you. I told Mom that I was going to look after you after... We're from the same outfit.
When a father gives to a daughter, both laugh. When a daughter gives to the father, both cry.
Pretty good outfit.
You remember pretty good.
What I do remember is trying to teach the girls sheep's head, and that they thought that I was making it up as I went along, too. You know, Pop, they're pretty close. We could always play five-handed sometime. What do you think?
I stared down the barrel of a Panzer tank that winter in Belgium. I've never been scared like this before.
Pop, you don't have to be scared. Don't have to be alone. Hey, you can bring in your books, huh?
All of them? What about my other stuff?
You are so stubborn.
Well, it got me through that storm. So, this is what it comes down to. A room full of nothing and nobody in it. Now I may have forgotten some stuff.
Some stuff?
Well, maybe a lot.
Yeah, a lot.
But not the important stuff.
That